What's going on, guys? Cody from Motorcycle MD. Welcome back. In this video, we'll be going to the 1979 CB750 again with a very weird, somewhat confusing electrical problem. Both horns are not working on this bike. The path that we take to get there with our electrical diagnosing, and it kind of takes a weird turn. But I think it'd be very helpful for you guys just to see the process of what it takes to eliminate certain aspects of that circuit or that system to finally reach a point of success, finding out what the issue is. That's what we want to do. So, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure you join the mailing list. There you'll get updates on new videos. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the alert so you know when new videos come out. Wait till the end and we figure out exactly what's going on. Was it a waste of time? Who knows? But it's fixed. So, let's start with what we know. Okay, we know that we have two horns. Bam, bam. We have a white with green, W/G, and an LG, which stands for light green. So we have a horn button. It's here. Alright, so if we start at the horns, we know that they're sharing, obviously, power and a ground. Right? So these two wires, we follow these up. They go into a 2-pin white mini connector right there. We have a light green going out, which goes to the horn. There's the button for the horn. It says H, probably for horn or hot, and the E, likely for earth or ground. And I can know that because out of that little button right there, there's a green wire, and green is typically always ground for Hondas. So we know that that's the green ground wire, and we have a hot wire that is feeding into the switch. Once you press this button, it connects that to that. So whether it grounds it or it gives it power, doesn't really matter. It looks like because the power is going to the horns, when we push the button in, we are grounding the circuit, right? Just allowing for that wire to touch that wire through a source of a button. So, in the headlight bucket, we're going to look for this 2-pin white connector. Should have a light green and a white with green. And we're going to make sure that there is power going to it, at least to this light green wire. And we'll look at it and see if it's getting power when a button is pressed or not pressed. And that will kind of tell us if it's giving power or grounding. And then what I want to do is check the continuity or the resistance in this button. So let's say this is the switch assembly, which it is. That's how they're detailing it. Here's the horn button on that left side. If I isolate the button, so if I disconnect it, so that means we're going to disconnect this 9-pin black connector, this big one, and we're going to disconnect this 2-pin mini. I'm going to use my multimeter and probe that green wire, which is the ground, and the light green wire. Then we're going to look at the meter, and I'm going to press and unpress that horn button to see if it's breaking contact or if it's making contact. So let's do that first. Alright, so remember we're going to isolate the switch. So here's that, so this is that black, here's the harness that comes from the switch on the back side. Just kind of following it through. Comes into the bucket, and it kind of starts to split up. So here's that 2-pin. Remember that white 2-pin with the white with green stripe? So that's awesome. It's right there. And we're going to look at this side of the harness, because this harness is the side that leads to whatever we're going to. So this is the harness for that left switch assembly, the horn button. Right, so that comes, here it is, kind of wraps up in here. This goes to the horns itself. So we're not testing the horns, we're testing the switch. So we have that light green and that white with green. Then we have that ground. So here's that black 9-pin, 9-wire connector. Yeah, let's do that. Again, we want the harness side. So we're gonna do a check between the green wire. I think that's green. Where is that green? Being colorblind doesn't help in this. It might be gray. Let me double check. This is gray. So we want this one right here, pink, and the light green one here. I don't need the key on for this. I'm gonna look at it sideways. So we're gonna go to ohms, which is this one over here. The 200 range. We're not going to 2K or anything like that. So the 200 range right now is saying out of limit. Resistance is so great that I can't read it. Okay, so that's just holding it to the meter so I know the meter works. Okay, so we're gonna go to, let's see, this is gonna be kind of hard to do with just two hands, but let's see. So this is switch not depressed, light green, which we know goes to the horn button, and then this green. So this is gonna be a little bit tricky. Let's see. So that, and then that middle one, top middle. So right now it's OL. The button's not pressed, alright? To make my life a little bit easier, I'm going to grab an alligator clip and go just to that green wire. Go to my positive end of my meter. So now I have a free hand. And we're going to go back to this, where'd it go? Right here. It's light green, which we know is not giving us a reading right now. I'm going to press the horn button. Make sure we're in there. No change in the horn button. I mash it in. Nothing. Not getting any change at all. Okay, so just by doing that, that tells me that there's likely something wrong with the horn button itself. Let's try to check this one more time. Always triple check this stuff, man, because you don't want to go in after something that you don't need to. I'm pressing the button now. It's still reading OL. Is there continuity? Is this? Double check our alligator clip. Make sure that's not broken. Let's go end to end on the alligator clip. Yeah, so it's reading continuity. So it's a little high for what I'd like it to be, but it's going to read. So let's just double check this one more time. Go to our green. And then depress the button. Nothing. Horn button is not doing anything. It's not sending any power. Okay, let's see if the horns are getting power on that white with green. Okay, so we're going to take this, plug it back in. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my alligator lead, just ground it. Now we're checking for power. We'll go to volts with the straight line, that's volts DC. We got a 2 and a 20 setting. We'll go to the 20 because we're working with a 12 volt system. Reading 0 volts right now. And that's battery voltage. The horns are getting power, but the switch isn't grounding it. Okay, so the horns constantly have power going to them. The switch grounds it, completes the circuit, and makes them work. So we need to go in after the horn switch. Crack it open. 2 Phillips head screws. We're going to open it up and we're just going to have a look and look at this horn button right here and see what's going on. Might be a dirty contact for it, or there might be a broken wire, which would suck. So let's do it. Our horn button's right here. The light green wire is the one that the button is, looks like it's pressing into, and then the whole body of it is grounded by the green wire that juts out the right. So we're going to have to take this apart and see what's going on. If you guys haven't already, make sure you check out Grip Clean. They do sponsor all of our Recycle MD videos. These are fantastic hand wipes. We'll be using them at the end to get all this crap off our hands. 10% off your whole order. Link in the description. Use code MOTOMD at checkout. Hit them up. I love their stuff. So we're just going to start taking this thing apart. We have our turn signal switch here, which is really cruddy, but the guy doesn't even have turn signals on this bike, so I'm not even going to function with this right now or mess with it. I'm just going to remove it because it's in the way of our horn. Little washer on top. Pop this switch up. It's nice and greasy. Okay, here's our little bushing for that to pivot on. Looks like we have to take this whole band out. Great. Okay, I got it. Just be careful that turn signal switch doesn't start popping up on us. Should be able to just push this kind of out. Boom. Try to be really delicate of the wires because they are soldered in. Looks like they are both there, the grounds and that power. So why are you not working? They look to be pretty clean. I'm just going to slide this button downward. There's a spring behind it. And it looks like the contact might be pretty dirty. Okay, let's see if I can get a closer shot. The button contact, there's some crud on top. And here's that contact there, there's some crud on top. I can visually see that. So this might be pretty simple. Let's try it. We're just going to grab something sharp, a pocket knife, whatever, and just scrape the tip of that. Just make it bare metal again. Okay, so I just scraped that one. It doesn't look that, like now that I've scraped it, it looks like it was just like grease. So I'm not as confident as I was before. But we'll see. Cool. That worked out well. I don't know why it's corroding right there, but alright, well, I'm feeling less confident about that because I thought it would be a little bit more corroded. So we're going to put this back in. Alright, so we're back in action there. I don't know if that fixed it or not, but let's put this thing back together and find out. Since we're over here, we're still on the bench, what we can do is we can still bench test the switch again. Okay, so we'll grab another alligator clip. We'll go to that ground wire again. We gotta get this thing having continuity at least off the bike. I mean, at the very least. Okay, so we have it hooked up to our ground wire, and our positive wire will go to this light green. I can go straight inside the switch if I want to, bypass the whole wire, right on the back side of that switch. And now we're making continuity. See that? Button not pressed, out of limit, button pressed. It's pretty low resistance, which is great. I'm going to go back up to this one over here, this light green. And the harness where the switch is, do the same test. I'm making sure that the line from there to here is doing the exact same thing as me going right to the back of that switch. I make sure that there's a connection. So button not pressed, button pressed. Same reading. So that's making the connection. This wire, the ground wire and the light green wire, are doing what they should do. There's continuity between the two. So that's good. So our switch, our button is working now. Because I could not see it working before. Let's put it out on the bike. Key on. Still no horns. Let's double check to make sure that the horns are getting power. Or that it's at least, because if it's transferring, if that power is transferring, because we already checked to see if the horns are getting power, they are. They're constantly getting power. Let's see if it's transferring. Maybe my battery's too low. Shouldn't be. We should get something. Like a or something out of it, even if the battery was low. Ground the meter. We're in volts DC. Let's try this out. So our headlight should be on right now. That should be battery voltage. 11.4. So it's a little low, but I'm not worried about that right now. So this has half voltage. There we go. Alright, so our light green, our white with green stripe, which comes out of the harness. I don't know if we covered this, but the white with green is actually coming from the fuse box. That's what's supplying our power. Shares the same fuse as the turn signal and the rear brake light. So if I turn the key on and I have a rear brake light, then the fuse is not blown. I have no turn signals because they're not plugged in, but it's getting its power from there, from the fuse box. So the fuse is not blown. So our white with green has battery voltage. This has half voltage, which is very weird to me. The light green with white. Let me push the button and see if it changes. It drops. It's very interesting. To me, it seems like there's something wrong with the horns themselves. So, what we can do is try a different horn. Here's an old horn, probably 350 stuff. Let's see if it works. I will not be scared. I will not be scared. Okay, that one works. So, let's unhook this wire and this wire. Let's set it there. Let's give it some power. Let's grab an alligator clip. Go there and there, and grab one more. Okay, so key on, horn button. So it's the horns. That's what that tells me. So what we can try to do, obviously many of you guys may not have, spare horns to try with. But what we can do is hook up 12 volts just straight to this horn. And force it to work. Or see if we can force it to work. So I got 2 leads going straight to this horn. We're just going to give it a full 12 volt dose. And see what it does. See if we can't tickle it. Positive, negative. Positive. Nothing. Sometimes you can smack these horns around and get them to work. So it's not the switch, it's the horns. 100% the horns. Just by kind of going one thing after another. Could I have just gone 12 volts straight to the horn off the bat? Absolutely. That would have been really easy to do. But from our check, it looked like that switch was not getting any power transferring through it. Nothing. Neither of these horns work. So I'm going to leave it hooked up. And I'm going to smack it. These horns are dead. These horns are dead. Replace the horns and they will work. We went around our elbow a little bit, but we wanted to verify some things, obviously. Switch, we may have made the switch work better, who knows. But from our test, it looked like the switch was not transferring power. I mean, you guys saw the results. But once I started getting that weird half voltage, that 6 volts, it was just, that's too weird. Straight to the horns, verify that they work. They don't work. We're going to replace both of them, and he will have working horns. That's how diagnosing goes. You start somewhere, and then you end up somewhere with a result, hopefully. Yeah, new horns. This thing will be working. I'm going to put this thing back together, put the switch back on, reroute that, and get this guy some new horns. I hope that was informational. I hope that was helpful for you. If it was, leave a comment below. Thank you guys so much for checking out Motorcycle MD. If you guys need any help with carburetors or anything like that, check out themotorcyclemd.com to find that information. And as always, Cody from Motorcycle MD, bringing you guys quality tips and tricks for your next build or your daily rider. See you next time. Later. And 2 brand new horns.